Hi everybody, my name is Jason Barrett and I'm the founder and Master Distiller up here at Black Button Distilling and the Strategic Sourcing Hub. We're here to talk to you today a little bit about what working with a co-packer can look like. Launching a spirit brand is an exciting adventure, but it's also a complex one. New brand owners face a lot of important decisions along the way, from branding and marketing, distributor relationships, pricing strategy, to production and compliance. There's a lot to think about. One of the first and most critical decisions is how you'll produce your spirits. Should you partner with a co-packer, or should you invest in distilling everything in-house and building out your own distillery? Today we compare the costs of co-packing versus self-distilling to help you decide which option is best for you and your brand. What is a co-packer? Let's start by defining what a co-packer is. A co-packer is a licensed, established distillery that produces alcohol products on behalf of other brands. Co-packers come in all sizes, from small craft distilleries to large-scale manufacturers. The key here is that you're hiring them to produce your spirit for you on your behalf. Co-packing is often an ideal option for small startups or smaller brands that don't yet have the resources to build their own distillery. In contrast, self-distilling makes taking on the entire production process yourself, everything from sourcing ingredients to setting up equipment, distilling, bottling, compliance, and packaging. When it comes to cost, there's a big difference between these two paths. With co-packing, the initial expense are almost always much lower. That's because you don't need to invest in your own manufacturing equipment, hiring staff, or building a physical facility. Instead, you're paying for the co-packer's production capacity, which can vary depending on the size of your run. Co-packing costs typically include setup fees for one-time expenses, production fees per unit, the packaging, the excise taxes, and of course shipping costs. Co-packing fees are typically priced per unit, which means you pay per bottle, which does make that cost seem relatively high, especially if you're producing in small batches. But it's worth pointing out there's one huge advantage. You have no upfront capital investment required, nor do you have ongoing fixed costs. On the flip side, self-distilling requires a significantly higher upfront investment, as you will need to purchase equipment like fermenters, bottling lines, storage tanks, etc., not to mention securing a physical space to house all of this. These upfront costs can be substantial, far more than most entrepreneurs realize. Let's break this down with an example. Imagine you have $1 million to invest in your new spirit brand, Spirit X. Option 1, self-distilling. The first year will involve a lot of upfront costs. Let's say you lease a 5,000 square foot facility, which could cost you up to $100,000 per year. You'll also need to buy all your equipment, stills, tanks, bottling lines, filter presses, and more. This could run you about $400,000. Construction costs for the facility could add another $150,000, and that leaves you with roughly $300,000 for your first round of production, marketing, and other ongoing expenses. It could also take well over a year to get licensed with both the federal government and your state government. Option 2. With a co-packer, your first round of production might only cost you $280,000. Why? Because the co-packer already has everything in place. Licensed facility, all the equipment and staff. You don't have to worry about construction, equipment, or overhead. And with your remaining $820,000, you can focus on marketing, incentivizing distributors, funding your second larger production run. Plus, you'll even have enough to pay yourself, the CEO of Spirit X. While $1 million might sound like enough to start your own distillery, in reality it often is not. But that same $1 million could be more than enough to launch your brand successfully with a co-packer. Co-packing offers several key advantages, especially for new and smaller brands. For one, you get immediate access to licensed facilities, industry expertise, and trained staff, without having to invest millions of dollars up front. This means you can bring your product to market much faster, often in just a few months, compared to years when it comes to setting up your own distillery. Co-packing lets you focus on building your brand and generating sales, while leaving the production to the experts. And because many co-packers work with multiple brands, they often have established industry relationships that can help you secure better pricing on ingredients, packaging, and more. When choosing between self-distilling and co-packing, it's important to consider your passion. Is it the science and craft of distilling that excites you? Or are you more interested in the art of branding and selling your spirits? If your brand story isn't centered around being a grain-to-glass distillery, co-packing may be the perfect fit for you. You should also think about your long-term goals. Do you have plans to scale quickly, Do you have the resources to manage the ongoing overhead and fixed costs of running a distillery? Understanding your true costs, both fixed and variable, is key to making an informed decision. Ultimately, there's no right or wrong way to go. Whether you're choosing co-packing or self-distilling, it depends on your brand's ultimate goals, your budget, and your vision for the future. Co-packing is a great option for minimizing upfront costs, getting your product to market quickly, while self-distilling offers great control over the production process and potentially long-term savings as you scale. Whichever path you choose, it's important to take the time and evaluate both options carefully. Your decision today will have a big impact on your brand's success tomorrow. If you need more information or would like to find out what working with a co-packer can look like, the Strategic Sourcing Hub would love to talk to you. The best way to get in touch with us is either to visit our website, strategicsourcinghub.com, or shoot us an email, cheers@strategicsourcinghub.com.